Okay, then let's get slowly started. Maybe the colleagues dial in later. So welcome to the last meeting of this year. The items from last time. So PRs for the CF smoke tests release bucket migration are all closed and the migration is finished. So I think there are 2 smoke test releases in the meantime, which were successful. And everything is now stored in a GCS bucket in our working groups account and not anymore on the VMware infrastructure. Good. Maybe first this one here because it's faster. Our GCP deployments still use external ephemeral IPs for the VMs, which is not a problem, but it's not in the inventor's intention. So I've raised a pull request to Bubble so that Cloud Config disables ephemeral external IP. It's not necessary because we have the gateway. Carson is dialing in. And this has been merged, but not yet released as a new Bubble version. So it might still take some time until this reaches our infrastructures. Problem is that some tests take longer if they use the Cloud NAT gateway instead of external IPs. Why exactly is unclear, but Raymond reported the same. So here and there, we may have to adjust the test timeouts. Okay. Hi, Carson. Hey, Dave. Welcome to the last meeting of this year. So, and you're just right in time for the interesting topic. So the other stuff is done for now. The FIPS stem cell validation. So Dimitar and I have worked on the FIPS validation. So we have created this pipeline to validate a FIPS compliant stem cell. So the pipeline just looks like previous stem cell validation pipelines. We did exactly the same for Jammy when we still ran on Bionic. So what does it do? It retrieves the latest FIPS stem cell and runs a plain CF Bosch deploy, like the fresh deployment, on AWS as infrastructure. And then we run the acceptance tests and the smoke tests and delete the deployment again. Now, the stem cell is not publicly available. It is stored in a protected GCS bucket. And here we had some trouble, but Raymond McKelly luckily helped us. So we need the Bosch IO stem cell resource with an enhancement that supports authentication. And as you see, we are still using this development version because I think there is a released version in the meantime, but there is no Concourse release with that version. So we have to use this workaround here. And with this resource, we can specify HMAC, an HMAC access key and an HMAC secret, which is then used to authenticate this bucket here. So here's the FIPS. Creating those is well hidden in the GCP console, really. So you have to, it's not in IAM or service account management or so. You have to go to cloud storage, settings, interoperability. And then here you can choose, select a service account and create new keys. And our account is now linked to the infrastructure account where the stem cell is stored, so that this service account has access to the bucket. Yeah, okay. So yeah, that was some effort. Then the rest was rather easy. Maybe one thing I should point out, just let me check. FIPS. We have, of course, a dedicated infrastructure for this. It's called Snape. So this is a completely new bubble environment. Yeah, with all the usual infrastructure jobs. For the deploy job, we had to make some small modifications. The default Bosch deploy job just runs Bosch upload stem cell, but that does not work because Bosch does not have the credentials to access the bucket. So we had to tweak this a little bit and upload directly from, so that we upload directly the tar gzip file. Yeah, so this is the folder for the Bosch IO resource I just showed, and it downloads the tar file. And then we use that directly to do the Bosch upload stem cell and skip the regular update that the Bosch deploy job normally does. Where is the skip? Skip stem cell upload. That's a small parameter I added to make this work. Okay. And any questions so far? Not yet. Okay, good. Well, then, as you can see, the pipeline is still deep red. We already found a lot of issues. Some of them are trivial to solve by replacing or by updating an OpenSSL command. Some are a bit more challenging and may take longer. So, for example, a typical issue that you find is, where is the, here, in the UAA release. Here there was, where was the pull request? Yeah, here. So here is an OpenSSL command in the Bosch pre-start script, and well, this combination is not supported on FIPS. Instead, we found out together with some security experts here at SAP that the NOMAC option is also fine. So UAA has this already merged, and the next release should then work. But there are also a number of more challenging issues, like in the cloud controller. There are a few places where the cloud controller uses MD5, which is deprecated and not supported on FIPS. And then, for example, staging does not work. Now, simply replacing this with something like SHA-1 or SHA-256 solves some problems, but not all, because MD5 is used to create bucket names and also folder names, and that means a migration step is necessary. So yeah, this could be a bit more effort. Stefan has already created user stories for the cloud controller team approvers, which, yeah, this will be fun. So it's hard to estimate how long this will take. And when we have the next release, then we can rerun the pipeline It's triggered for each stem cell release and also for each CF deployment release. And then we can see how far we get. Yeah, GradHub also needs a small patch, but this is also a trivial one. And I found a few older issues also related to FIPS stem cells. So anyway, I will collect everything here in this parent issue, and then over the next weeks or months, we should see the problems resolved.
I think the only suggestion I would have on that pipeline is
Yes.
to trigger on release candidate rather than main, just so that you don't have to cut a release to do validation. That way, you know it's past the main pipeline and it's valid for the current stem cell, and then you can see how well it works here.
Yes. Okay, that's a valid point. Then, well, yes, it would run more often, but yes, we can do that. Yeah. That's okay. Good. Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like there's a lot of work to do.
There is quite some work to do, so I tried to quick hack this directly in the, by the way, this is the Snape environment. So this is it, the stem cell. Don't be surprised, the operating system is really just Ubuntu Jammy. I've seen some other setups where it's Ubuntu FIPS Jammy, but this is okay. Yes, maybe one thing which is very interesting. So how do we know that we are really on a jammy stem cell and not on a regular one? It is proc. Yeah, now I forgot. No, proxys. Yes, this is it. Proxys crypto FIPS enabled. So I think, yeah.
Okay.
Wow, that's insider knowledge now.
This is insider knowledge, which I got it from one of our UAA colleagues. So I think this crypto folder only exists on Jammy stem cells, and then it on FIP stem cells, and then you have, for example, this file. So this is definitely this is used in some of the Bosch releases to check if we are on a FIP stem cell or not. And there is a little bit of more stuff. There's also a name. So we have FIPS name. This is, yeah, well, okay. And a version. Oh, good. This is the kernel version, I think. Yeah, okay. Good. Yeah. And as you can see, I should maybe clean up. I've already messed around here a lot, so I've built some dev releases which make the deploy CF eventually succeed. But CF push is currently not possible. It fails somewhere in build pack staging, or it cannot detect a build pack for the given app. Ruben has done something similar, simply replacing MD5 with something else, and he seemed to have managed to get staging, a CF application staging working. I don't know if he tweaked the other releases that are involved. Yeah. So, yeah, we have to wait for some, yeah, this is the biggest part likely, the cloud controller MD5 story. The rest could be easy to solve. Okay, any other thoughts on this?
No, that's good.
Thanks for sharing.
Yes, you are welcome. Okay. So then I have one more topic, and then we can come to your topics if you have any. So here you see the main pipeline is currently broken with a Bosch link issue. Reason was that the Diego team has introduced a new Bosch link, Max containers. So they wanted, let me get this right. They want that Garden exposes the number of containers it can provide to the Diego scheduler, to the rep job. So now this idea is good, but it doesn't work if you have multiple Diego deployments then you have, for example, here we have a Diego isolation segment, and then you have 2 pairs of rep and Garden, and Bosch does not know how to resolve the links anymore. I thought we can fix this like so. This worked, but yeah, so you have to use named links basically. So we would have yes, Max containers Diego cell for our main Diego deployment. And for the isolation segment deployment, we would have a different name. Yeah, but okay. I think Mark Paquette is it who developed that. He agreed that this is not a way to go, and he reverted their changes and just removed it again for now. And we are waiting now for a new Diego release and a new Garden Run C release. And when both are available, the jobs should actually succeed again. Yeah, so there's nothing for us to do other than wait and hope that they succeed soon in creating a new release. I have checked in the morning, so let's see, Garden Run C. We have, no, that's from last week. And Diego is also from last week. Sure. Okay. Yeah, so our last release is also now almost 2 weeks old, so I hope they manage to fix that soon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that is all from my side. Any other business?
Okay. I would have 2 very small topics from the TOC just to make you aware. Number one is that there are plans to remove the inactive users from the Cloud Foundry org slowly. There's currently an implementation that is driven by Behan and that will identify those and remove them. It's probably not that important for the working group itself, but it has a nice side effect that it will also list inactive, let's say, users with a org role, for instance, approvers, and I think we have some. So once this is running, then we can somehow prove by a link to those GitHub actions that certain here Andrew driver, etc. So I guess they have done nothing in the last year, and then we could also file a PR to remove them, but maybe we can do it beginning of next year. Then these cleanup activities come up. The idea behind is that sooner or later, the GitHub plan is maybe changed from the current very old plan to a new one that unlocks more features, so fine-grained roles, etc. But it would be very expensive at the moment, and a few hundred users can be removed actually from the org. So this is the one activity, and the second one there was a.
Before you move on, you'll probably find that my name's on that list because I'm not actively working on this side of Cloud Foundry. I'm on the Kubernetes side on my daily work. But
Yeah.
whether you want to put an exception in for me is totally up to you. I don't mind.
Yeah. As long as you have, you are not seen as inactive, as long as there is a single activity like a commit or a ticket comment in the Cloud Foundry org, and if you work on
okay.
Corifi,
As
you
long
are
as it's in
also
the-
exactly you are you don't fall under this very broad.
Yes.
And
Okay,
everything
that's
else
fine.
is a decision within the working group. So if
Yeah.
Jochen would decide that Jota Komborski shall be
Well,
kept, then
yeah.
it's of course perfectly fine.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, attending the working group meeting also counts as activity. Yeah.
Of course.
This is not. So, but there are a few guys I didn't hear any live sign from. So,
Sure.
yeah, we may have to remove them, but they're given a chance to reject that. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
yeah, okay.
And the second thing is that's not yet actively driven, but I think there was an announcement that sooner or later all direct users configured on repositories will be removed as well, so that all the access rights are governed by the teams. I looked at least CF deployment, and I looked it up for 2 or 3 more repos. It seems that the runtime working group is perfectly fine set up. There did not find any direct users, so you are not affected, but many other working groups have here a completely different situation.
Cleaned up everything when this branch protection rule stuff was rolled out.
Okay, then there are no problems, and there will be an automation that basically removes all direct users. But then no problem.
Okay,
that's good. That was
okay.
Cool. Yeah.
Oh, I think I have not yet mentioned that Dimitar Velinov has been granted the reviewer role. So he's also working at SAP in the Sofia labs in Bulgaria. And he joined me in this stem cell story. So yeah, after some time we could promote him to approver when he has a bit more experience. Yeah. This is to strengthen the active approver space of this working group.
Yeah.
Yep. That sounds good.
Yeah. Good. Any other business? Okay, good. If there's nothing else, next meeting is cancelled because I guess on December 28th there will be not too many attendants. Okay, I mean I will likely be online, but yeah. So the next meeting would then be on January 11th or so. Until then, I wish you happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too.
And thanks. Some at least a few days without any outages or other annoying incidents.
Yes.
That's true. Yeah.
Big one.
Good. Okay.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Thanks everyone.
Holidays.
Bye-bye.
Bye.